Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Alex Kurocket and today I'm bringing you guys my week 8 match of the PCL D-League against Lieutenant Gold and his Victory Road Victinis. Boy, do I have a match for you guys. So just a little premise for this. Oh, by the way, no lights this week because I need to get this video out like fast. The premise for this is basically me and Dorian, great guy Dorian, by the way. We fought last week, like Thursday, Wednesday. I don't even remember when we fought. But we were fighting and we DC'd like at turn 10 for whatever reason. I don't know why. Both of us were still online. Like I even have the picture proof that I was still online. He did too. So we don't know what happened. We're just like, okay, it's whatever. It's only like 10 turns. We'll just recreate it. So we recreated it the best we could. The problem was, Jesus, I missed 2 Hydro Pumps with Rotom Wash. One of them was like on a Gligar, the other one was on a Serp. So the Serp one didn't matter too much, but the Gligar one definitely would have. So we were like, okay, let's just have us click Defog in this. So we recreated that a little bit, which is fine. You'll see the battle in a second. Basically, we started recreating it again. And we got to a point where we were like, the match was almost over, and we were on like the last couple turns, and then we DC'd again. And by that point, and you'll see it when I'm like explaining things, you're gonna see a lot of weird plays here in this recreation. We had to go on shutdown because we didn't want to mess with the Wi-Fi again. I'm actually recording this like the day before I need to leave to go on like a little mini vacation again, I guess. So we had to recreate this like as fast as possible. He had things with work, and he's also in a different time zone, so we had to find a time to do this. This whole like past week 8 experience has been something else, but I do have the battle for you, and I'll show you in a second the recreation that we have. First, let me go over the teams real quick. I'm assuming this is going to be a bit of a shorter video because I really need to get this out fast. So anyways, his team is Naga, Gligar, Celesteela, Superior, Mega Diancie, Conch, Jolteon, Crocodile, Moltres, Jellicent, and Kecleon. So, you remember in my week 1 battle, I already faced the Naga. The guy who was in here previously is no longer in the league, and the guy who took him over dropped Naga because he didn't want to use it. For whatever reason, I guess it was just because he had used it before and he wanted to try something else different. So he dropped Naga, and then Dorian here picked it up. So we're facing another Naga, and that means that we are in for a treat. So the prep for this week I mean, it wasn't anything like too crazy. It was sort of everything like standard you'd expect from my sets. I don't know. The prep this week is just kind of not like anything too insane, really. We have Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Dark Pulse, and Nasty Plot, Life Orb, Dark Ride. Nothing crazy there. Enough speed to outspeed Modest Naga, I'm pretty sure, or just Naga in general, because yeah, no, just Timid Naga. That's enough speed to outspeed it. And then we're using basically the same set from week 1 when we face the Naga for Rotom Wash, where we're going with Defog, Volt Switch, Hydro Pump, and Thunder Wave. In week 1, I was able to get a Thunder Wave off against the Naga, and that like really early on, that super helped. So I was trying to replicate that again this week, just because it was super helpful and it slowed down the Naga immensely. Here we have Alolan Raichu with Electric Terrain, Thunderbolt, Psychic, and Hidden Power Ice. We wanted to do that boosted electric damage, Jesus, for the Celesteela in case it was like max plus defense. Want to make sure we code this thing with the Alolan Raichu, and then Hidden Power Ice and Psychic is just coverage. And then Bandit Buzzwole actually like really goes in his team with Ice Punch, Thunder Punch, Superpower, and Earthquake. We don't need too much speed this week at all. Normally you wouldn't run speed on Buzzwole, but for whatever reason, I love running Scarf Buzzwole. I've ran it like twice this season, and it's worked. This time we're going with Banded with a bit more bulk and a lot of speed. So yeah, Banded Buzzwole just kind of like goes in his team, especially with the coverage that we have. And then instead of a Assault Vested Tangrowth this week, we're going with the Physically Defensive Tangrowth again. Because this week the physical attackers on Dorian's side, we're getting walled pretty nicely by a Tangrowth. Yeah, sure. An AV Tangrowth would have been nice for the Nega, but ideally, I would have either had the Nega dealt with by the time it wanted to, like, come and switch in on a Tangrowth and click, whatever move we wanted to click. And sorry. Yeah, so we have physically defensive basically. Sure, like Assault Vested again would have been nice, but it was still like living a hit from Naga. It just wasn't like taking it very well. So we just decided to opt for physical defensive this week. And then finally we have Scarf Chandelure again. I think this is the same coverage moves we had the last time we ran a Scarf Chandelure. Again, this week Scarf Chandelure is pretty good. Oh, geez, excuse me. If you remember in week 2, we ran Scarf Chandelure against Love, I'm pretty sure, Atlanta Aerodactyl, something like that. No, that was Lucifer. We ran it against Lucifer. And it basically got I think it was like a 5-0 or something like that. So hopefully we're trying to make Scarf Chandelure pick up a lot more kills again this week. So yeah, sorry again for like really fast talking, just going through this like best I can. I really need to get this out. I'll bring up the replay in a second here, and I'll see you guys then. Okay guys, so here we are back. I have the recreation pulled up. I don't really know how I'm gonna explain this, and because there's a lot of plays. Basically there was a lot of hacks in this game, like leading up to the DC. There was a lot of turns in this game that we do not remember, so we did our best to recreate it just for content's sake. Obviously this is not how the match actually went down, but yeah, so here we go. So the actual lead in the game was not Serp Rotom, it was Rotom Moltres, okay? So he goes, I click the Hydro Pump on the Moltres while he switches into Serp, which the Hydro Pump misses. First of the many hacks. I'm like, okay, that's annoying. So in the recreation, we couldn't really obviously recreate that because we can't bank on Hydro Pump missing every time. So we just had me lead Rotom and then him lead Serp. Because in the next play, I switch out into Chandelure, where he then glares me. So already this match is off to a terrible start. So then he goes into Celesteela here in the recreation. I'm pretty sure he went into Gligar, which I clicked Fire Blast on, and I'm pretty sure I either got Full Parrot or I missed or something. I clicked Fire Blast just because most things coming in wasn't going to take it well, except for like maybe the Moltres. Gligar wasn't taking it too well either, so I click Fire Blast, I get Full Parrot or something, I can't remember. And then I think he doubles out then into Celesteela when I go into Rotom Wash here. Oh, so this is the recreation now. So here we have Rotom Wash versus Celesteela, and you see me click Defog there. Obviously I didn't do that in the real game. I clicked Hydro Pump, I'm pretty sure, and I missed. Well, actually no, I did click Defog in the real game because when he stayed in Gligar, right? Actually, let me rewind it back. So he did stay in Gligar on the Chandelure a second turn, and he went for these Stealth Rocks. I didn't want to bank on like him clicking EQ or something and killing me, so I switched out into Rotom, expecting an EQ from the Gligar. He actually went for Stealth Rocks, which is sort of a good play on him. But that allowed me to freely click Defog because he was going to switch out into Celesteela here. Obviously the rocks aren't up in the mock, but I did click Defog, and he's going to go for Giga Drain, which in the real game it actually critted me and put me at half, so we had to recreate it to where I click Defog twice and he clicks Giga Drain twice so that he can put me at half. So here's where after that turn we DC'd for the first time. Like, okay, so we just got to recreate it as best we can, and basically a lot of turns happen. So we recreate the match, a lot of turns happen, we get to a point where it's I was in on a Mon with Gligar, I don't know, I can't remember which one, and I switch out of that Mon into Buzzwole. Actually I need to click Defog here again because I can't do damage to the Gligar, obviously, because it's going to be at full in the actual game. I switch out into Buzzwole into the Gligar. I can't remember which Mon I was on in, and he clicks EQ and does nothing. He goes straight into Moltres, where I go for the Ice Punch, and the Ice Punch is doing about half, which is a decent amount. And here on Showdown, apparently, I can freeze people, but in the real game, I just get hacks put on myself. Ooh, excuse me. So basically, I don't actually freeze him, but in this, we did freeze him, and we didn't have time to like fully recreate again. So we're like, okay, what do we do? So he's just gonna click Flamethrower. I'm hoping that it would thaw him out. I just switch out anyways. I would go Rotom Washing in the actual game, which I did, and I'm pretty sure he clicked, like, I don't even know what he clicked. He clicked something. But we need to get to a point where it was Serp versus Rotom Wash again, so that I could then switch out of Rotom Wash into Buzzwole again. Because that actually happened in the match. And he clicked Leaf Storm on the Buzzwole, which also did happen in the match, and he does get the +2. And then he clicks Hidden Power Fire to kill me. So all that happened in the match. We don't know how we got there. We cannot remember for the life of us, but we do know, like, what kills happened and certain, like, key plays. I believe I missed, like, another Hydro Pump somewhere in there or something like that. Got full paired with Shandy. I don't even know. But here I go Shandy again, hoping to not get full paired again. He's just going to go straight out into Naga, where I click something, but I get paralyzed anyways in this. Again, I didn't have time to, like, go back and recreate whatever actually did happen. But basically, at this time, Darkrai actually should be dead. Now, we couldn't remember where exactly it happened, but Darkrai did get clicked by a Z-move on something. Can't remember. I'm pretty sure it was, like, Emultrace or something like that. And it did kill the Darkrai, which was unfortunate. Because I clicked Nasty Plot, and then he just killed me right back. Hoping that, like, because I would live a hit for Moltres unless it was Z. I wanted to click Nasty Plot, get the +2, and then just sweep his team. So, Darkrai should be dead, but in the recreation, we couldn't remember where that happened, and we actually forgot about it until, like, a couple plays, like, up here. So, I go Rotom, and he goes Naga. I'm thinking, okay, my last hope at this point is to hopefully get it paralyzed on this Naga, at least snag a kill because he's paralyzed. But I miss the... I missed the Thunder Wave on the Naga switch into my Rotom Wash, which is super unfortunate. I missed the T-Wave in the game, and it just sucked. At that point, I was just so, like, done with the match. I didn't really want to play anymore. But, you know, I obviously had to, because basically at this point he was set up to a place where he could just 6-0 me. So he goes for Dark Pulse and kills me in the actual game. Obviously he didn't crit me in the actual game, as far as I'm concerned. But Naga did end up killing the what was it? Just killed it. You wrote on Wash. There we go. Jesus Christ. So then he goes Naga. I go into no, he goes Gligar when I go into Alolan Raichu, because Psychic would have killed Naga. And so I wanted to, that was like another like last resort that I had. So I went into Raichu. He goes into Gligar, taking the psychic damage, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. I have HP Ice, and there's only one roll that doesn't kill it. Obviously, going by how this match has been going, I get the one roll where it lives on 1 HP. So here we didn't get that roll, or we did get the roll where it was like it doesn't live on 1 HP or whatever. I can't remember, but super unfortunate. It would have been a 6-0 at this point because Darkrai was dead. Raichu was staring down a Gligar, which I'm pretty sure clicked EQ in the actual game when it lived on 1 and killed me. Yeah, see, as you can see right there, Dorian says, Raichu didn't kill with HP Ice. It would have been basically a 6-0 because I'm pretty sure at that point it was just Tangrowth and Chandelure left, and he would have gone for to preserve differential and switch out of Gligar when I went Tangrowth, and we just went Naga and then swept the rest of the game with the last 2 mons. But for recreation purposes, he goes Mega Diancie, he clicks Earth Power, I die. At this point, I'm just throwing mons out there, making sure that he does get the 6-0. I go Darkrai, he clicks, or actually no, he goes into Moltres. Yeah, it was the Moltres that I had the Z move, I remember correctly. I clicked Nasty Plot on the Moltres. This move was earlier in the game, as I explained. But obviously, he didn't get unfrozen here, so I just had to keep clicking Nasty Plot until he did get unfrozen. Which, you know, it's whatever. So he goes for the Z move, and I go in the Supersonic Strike. You know, great play by him in the actual game. Threw me off for a loop. I go Tangrowth here. He goes back into Naga, who would have gotten the last 2 kills on the Tangrowth. He was Specs. Would have gotten the last 2 kills on the Tangrowth and the Chandelure. So that was our week 8 match. Wow. So big, huge shout outs to Dorian for, like, you know, just being so you know, cooperative with this recreation. I would have gotten this done sooner. I wouldn't have had this video as rushed, but he had work stuff, and I really couldn't go at certain times, so we just had to work it out. So huge shout out to Dorian. Tough loss this week, big 6-0. It was a 5-0 in the recreation, but realistically it would have been a 6-0. We just had to recreate it as fast as we could for content purposes. So yeah, we take a big loss this week with a lot of hacks and 2 DCs and just a lot of misplays and just a lot of bad stuff. So hopefully in week 9 we can turn around, because we're getting close to the end of the PCL, and hopefully we can clinch a playoff spot in the 3 seed. I already played my week 9 match, so I know how it goes, but you guys won't be able to see it until next week. So stay tuned next week to see if we do end up getting the win and getting one step closer to clinching our 3rd seed spot. See you guys next week.